The theme of my unit is Purify Your World. How did I come up with this ingenious idea, you ask? I'll tell you. I want my students to design something that will have an impact on them, is relevant to their everyday lives, and get some thinking about the world they live in. So the first step I took was taking a little visit to my friend Google, where I researched various forms of environmental solutions to various problems including recycling and carbon emissions. Then, while browsing a Greenpeace website, I came across a statistic which said that in 2003, about 40 million bottles a day went into the trash, or even more unfortunately, became litter. These billions of bottles take up valuable landfill space, leak toxic additives into the groundwater, and take approximately 1,000 years to biodegrade, if ever. From this point, I decided to focus on water filtration systems, which allow people to get fresh water without the plastic mess. The first activity is geared to the arts KLA. The teacher will begin with a discussion with the students about what it means to keep the world green, while discussing how every single one of the students has the ability to make a difference in the world they live in, and understanding the impact that will have for our future. From this, the students will be asked to create a picture which illustrates their interpretation of a green world and how they want it to look in the next 10 years. This activity will help them understand that we need to start taking responsibility now if we want our world to stay the way we know and love it. Students will be provided with a large sheet of white paper, paints, which include the colors of the rainbow, and paintbrushes. This activity caters to independent workers such as Aaron, Ariana, and Alonzo, as students are able to apply independent creativity to this activity and really express what is important to them. However, it also caters to all 5 of the students by providing some defined guidelines of what is expected from the teacher. In the Create stage, the students will reflect on what is said in discussion and use their imaginations to create their ideal version of the kind of green world they want to see 10 years from now. The Present stage involves the students gathering into groups of 5 while they take turns sharing their illustrations with one another. This allows the students to explain the image they drew and why they believe it represents a green world. Students will be able to get a sense of how others view the world, discuss whether or not people have similarities or differences, and why they think this might be. The Reflect stage gives the students a chance to reflect on the impact they have in this world, both positively and negatively, and think about the ways in which they can reduce their negative impact and embrace the positive. The students will be able to reflect on how they plan on making their illustrations of a green future into a reality. The essential learnings related to this arts activity are first, ways of working. Students will be able to create and shape artworks by organizing arts elements to express personal and community values, beliefs, and observations. Present artwork to informal and formal audiences using techniques, skills, and processes, and reflect on learning to identify new understandings and future applications. The second activity is geared to the technology KLA, which uses project-based learning. The students will be told that they now have the chance in getting one step closer to their green future, as they have been hired by a water treatment plant to design the most efficient water filtration system possible. In doing so, they will in turn reduce the amount of plastic waste used from water bottles, which will then reduce carbon emissions, thus leaving us with clean and fresh water. The students will then be placed in teams of 2 or 3, which has been strategically designed in advance by the teacher. For example, Alonzo, Ariana, and Ali would work well as a team as it caters to Alonzo's collaborative skills, Ali's need for a challenge, and Ariana's guided mind. Each team will be provided with a 2-liter pop bottle cut in half. The students will then be explained that the top portion of the bottle will be turned upside down and placed into the bottom portion. The filter will be built inside the inverted top portion of the bottle. The base portion will act as a reservoir and collect the water that runs out of the filter. Each team will be provided with a list of suggested filter materials, which include 2 cups of gravel, 2 cups of sand, a sponge, a coffee filter, a paper clip, a drinking straw, a cotton ball, a rubber band, tape, pantyhose, modeling clay, scissors, and finally 12 inches of yarn. The students may go outside these materials if they choose to. However, the challenge is that they may only use 8 items, not counting the pop bottle, to construct their filtration device. The design stage will involve the students investigating the materials in relation to what materials would work best as a filter, deciding what 8 materials would work best together, and formulating what order they would layer them. The develop stage will involve the students producing the water filtration system by initially creating the filter container using the 2 pieces of the pop bottle and strategically placing their chosen filter materials inside the inverted portion of the pop bottle. In the evaluation stage, the students will be given contamination liquid, which includes food coloring, representing chemicals, raisins as animal and human waste, potting soil as earth, baking soda as road salt, soy sauce as motor oil, and torn paper plates as litter. The students will then pour the contamination liquid through their team's filter to test whether the water comes out clean. In this phase, students have the opportunity to fail and try again. If the water does not turn out clear enough, then they are encouraged to evaluate where they could have gone wrong and redesign and develop to improve it. The essential learnings related to this technology activity are ways of working. Students will be able to select resources, techniques, and tools to make products, and evaluate products and processes to identify strengths, limitations, effectiveness, and improvements. Both the arts and technology activities support Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. Gardner suggests that each person is born with a unique intelligence profile. Therefore, we must create activities which allow for different types of assessment in the classroom that cater to diverse students. Integrating the arts and technology activities gives diverse students a chance to succeed as they allow all types of intelligence to really get involved and highlight their strengths while exploring new areas of work which they may not necessarily enjoy otherwise. In James Adams' book, Integrated Curriculum K-12, he states that curriculum integration, appropriately implemented, can help teachers involve the students and make the lessons relevant to their needs and interests. I believe that integrating this theme is very engaging and relevant for students because through the deep reflection and realization of the impact that they have on the world, they are able to personally connect to this activity. This not only gives them the chance to use their imaginations to explore the world they live in and the importance of keeping it green, but it also allows them to take it a step further and actually put their thoughts into action.